too demanding. My love will pick you up.
Hello. How's it going? I'm hoping sound is vaguely correct because I messed with stuff and then remessed with it today. Um, if music is too loud or too quiet, let me know. I think I put it about where it was before, but it's hard to tell. Um, my Twitch alerts decided to make themselves free quiet again. Hey stars! Um, this is where I need to go. Okay, good. I think it's about where it was. If I was smart, well, I shouldn't say if I was smart. If I had been thinking about it when I was already like in pain and overwhelmed, I would have taken a screenshot of where all the sliders were before I started messing with them, but I didn't. Yeah, I added a stab Caesar command for today because, yeah, like why not? And I added the sliding in cat, which I think I need to make that video loop. I think that would be better. I will hydrate. Here's my water. So I just took a slurp. I'll do a stretchy. What is something nice about myself today?
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
I actually got a lot of stuff done today. Well, today, I mean this week. Like things I wasn't expecting to get done, but still needed to get done, so that's nice. And I think that that's good that I was able to, like, pivot my plan to match how I was feeling this week. So I think that's a success and something I can be proud of. I will say right off the bat, I put it in the title, but there may be a trypophobia warning, which is if you get freaked out by holes. I call it freaky holes. Because I definitely did get squicked out while I was sketching these. So I just want everybody to be okay. So if you have trypophobia, you might want to be cautious today. Yeah, freaky hole disorder, which was my nickname in college. So we're doing some mushroom studies because I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how the frickin' holes work on a Morel mushroom. I cannot get the pattern right. So I traced over them like 30 times to try and get it. I still don't understand it. So we're gonna paint them and see if I can understand them. This mysterious little mushroom. Because where did I put my, there. I was like, I have reference photos. Where did I put those? There. I lost my train of thought. You can get it back. You can do it. Come on, brain. I've talked about doing the coloring book line art this month, which I would really like to get settled and mostly painted. Because it goes nicely with our color of the month, which is burnt sienna. But basically it's a sketch of a ghost witch in a mushroom circle. Because she got the wrong mushroom and ate it and died. And so her ghost is looking at the different kinds of mushrooms to try and figure out where she went wrong. And one of them is Morel's. That's the one that you can eat. And then there is a vast array of other mushrooms that are called false Morels. And there's a bunch of different ones that fall under that heading. But I picked one that looked different enough in shape that it would be clear when I was drawing it. But I can't figure out how these things are constructed, and it's driving me nuts. I need to understand them enough that I can do the line art for them. So I sketched these out. They do look like Morels. I have specific reference images for these. And we're gonna see if me painting them actually helps me figure out what the hell is going on with them a little bit, because they're freaky little guys, which we appreciate. Love a freaky little guy. But I also need to understand the freaky little guy to some degree. So that's our plan today. And as Grim has already seen, I added 2 new channel point redeems today. I added the stab Caesar specific for today. It will go away after today. And then the sliding in cat is just, I think it's delightful and it makes me happy. So that will stay around forever. Kind of like a not so quiet hello kind of a dealio. I have a whole little list of other channel point things I want to add, so I'll be doing those slowly but surely when I have a second. Yeah, do I have anything else important? I don't know that I do. The sliding in does have a limited amount of people or redeems per stream per person, so you can use it 3 times a stream, so use it wisely. Is it not going to go off now? Or did it and I just didn't notice? Hello? Alerts? Are you there? That's strange. Let me focusing. If it will load. I know, laptop, I know. We're working on it though, buddy. I did talk to my friend on Tuesday. I think he's okay with me calling him my friend. He's mostly my brother's friend, but I will play one for you manually since I didn't see it. That's what I'm working on right now. Uno momento, por favor. This guy. Is that gonna work? There we go. I don't know why the other one didn't. Did I just not see it? I don't know. I can manually do it. It's fine. I'll just leave that page up. But I did talk about what I need to do, like research and stuff for figuring out parts for a PC. So that's on my table of things to do, which I should do sooner rather than later, because continuing to do this on my poor laptop. Okay, did you? I didn't see it, and I must have missed the sound. It is a pretty quiet sound, but I do think that it's a delightful sound, so. Okay. Good, good. I just did it just in cases, because I did make those ones skip the rewards queue, so I wouldn't be able to get back points. Not that I think that you're overly concerned about that. See these guys. So all of these photos have like different color levels to them. But we're gonna try and push the saturation a little bit because I want to be using burnt sienna for these. I want these to count for color of the month, which I think is a more intense color than most of Morel's have, but I'm an artist and I make the rules. So I think I can manage it. They do really. So I have like mild trypophobia. There's some things that make me feel squicky. It's not too bad, but the Morels were really setting it off the other day when I was working on these sketches. I think I want to do an underpainting of a color. What color is the next question? Probably a yellow. The stems have a bit more of a pinkish tone to them, but I don't want to use opera pink as the undertone for that because it's just so intense that you can't make it calm down again. Well, you can, but it's work. So I think maybe a little bit of red mixed with yellow ochre underneath will be good for the stems. I may need to clean up my palette at some point today because it's a mess. It's almost like I've been painting a lot or something. Did you know that being an artist involves painting a lot? Wild. Big if true. But how's everybody else doing today? I'm feeling alright. I had weird dreams last night though. Not that that's that far out there for me, but it does give you some certain vibes. Okay. I think I want to do warm gray in some of the darker areas, but I don't want to start out with that because that's going to be really dark. So I think doing some burnt sienna and then darkening over top of that is the right call, but we're going to find out. We have many opportunities to play around here, so we're just going to see how it goes. Oh, I should also warn people, we have another big pressure shift coming up at noon my time, so that's in like, can I do math? An hour and a half? So I might get weird when that happens. Don't worry about it. It's fine. The thing that I'm having trouble with the Morels is it's both like, I'm gonna say whole a lot this stream. That's just gonna happen. We're gonna lean into it. We're a fan of whole here. But it's a combination of the holes and the ridges that really make it look the way it looks. And it's difficult for me to like figure out how those fit together. Why is that difficult for me? Nobody knows. Maybe it's because they kind of freak me out a little bit. I don't know. I feel like maybe Spotify isn't shuffling. I will need to check in a second. Not that I mind, because this is a banger of a song. We could just listen to Young Bae. That would be okay too. And I do think this song is appropriate for how much we're talking about whole already today. Actually, maybe part of the reason that I was swicked out was because of the book I was listening to too. Maybe it was a combo deal. Am I gonna remember the author's name? Maybe. I'm listening to Stiff by Mary Roach? I think that's it. Which is about how corpses are treated in the United States specifically. So looking at like medical research and preservation, like funeral practices and stuff like that, which is kind of icky. So maybe a combination of those two was more to blame. Maybe I really just need to do the holes. Because I feel like that already looks like a Morel. Like there's more to be done, but I think that the hole placement is the big deal. Because they kind of go in lines, but not completely, which is why I'm having trouble with it. Like there's a pattern to it, but not a pattern. A no pattern within the pattern. It's very confusing to me personally. Okay, let's continue whole, shall we? I do wish that, this is unrelated, kind of. I do wish that Beam Paint sold like a ceramic palette that had the right shapes for their keystones. Because I love that these are biodegradable and sustainable packaging and all that, but they don't sit flat. Which kind of makes a little bit of a pain in the butt. I also painted my nails yesterday instead of doing more work. I did get done everything I wanted to get done yesterday, and then I was like, oh, well, that didn't take me as long as I thought. Let's paint nails. Okay, it is shuffling. I forgot to check, but Joe Road is not next to the Young Bay, so we're good. Joe Road? Go Road? I don't know how to pronounce that. Oh, I meant to add the photo of my loose sketch for this. Well, it's not a loose sketch anymore. The photo of my sketch to Streamlabs so she could show you guys. But I guess I can just show you on my iPad if you want to see. For why we're studying the Morels in the first place. Hi, Shani! So this is why we need to study Morels. So this is for the coloring book project. Caesar got stabbed. That I'm working on. So it's me and 29 other artists, I believe at this point. And this is my sketch. This was the pose that I mentioned that I needed to take a photo of myself and to figure it out. It's a weird pose, but it is kind of ass up. So, but there's two different kinds of mushrooms, and she picked the wrong one. And now she's dead. You can see her hand here. But I cannot get the texture of these morels to look right to me. So we're doing mushroom studies so that I can figure it out, hopefully, enough that I'm happy with those. Me being happy with something I made. Ha ha ha. Funny joke. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. Ooh. Right? Got some booty. I was just thinking, like, I wasn't even thinking about it like that until Al mentioned it stream before last, I think. And I was like, oh yeah, actually she is kind of shaking her mushroom maker, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, actually. I need to decide if I want to shade with burnt sienna or burnt umber for the stem. I think actually maybe ochre. I do like using these like earth pigments for things that involve the earth, which like means nothing. It's not that important, but I do think that it's cool. Cool and fun. Yeah, I can feel the pressure changing. I can feel it. My sinuses are like, pop. Should I try to zoom in on this for you guys, or do you like the bigger view? I do think I want to add some burnt umber to that. I I love burnt umber. I should, but I don't. Mostly. Doing like warm-ups that aren't actually going to be art is important, but that's really difficult for me. So doing like big circles from your shoulder on a piece of paper, doing squiggles or just like lines is good just to get something. I usually don't do that. I probably should, but and doing just like some general wrist stretches is a good idea. I don't think I added that. But if you look up like wrist stretches for knitters or artists, that will show stuff up. But because I have hypermobility in my wrists already, if I do too much of that, it actually makes things worse for me. But general wrist stretches would be so doing something like this where you're pulling your palm to make whatever angle is appropriate for you is good. You can also do like a prayer motion and move your hands back and forth like that. Doing one of those is good. You can also turn your arm around and lay it flat on the floor and push down. But again, I'm more flexible there than most people are and than I should be. But also doing like a finger pull on all your fingers like that, and just doing like finger rotations is good. But if you find that you're having like specific pains or stiffness in certain places, definitely doing like a gentle rub down of yourself. So like I get, especially when I'm sewing, I get sore right here in these muscles. So just if you see me doing this, I do this in person a lot, just to kind of help ease things up. But yeah, a lot of it is actually you want to draw from your shoulder, which is not what I do because I do things wrong. I'm really good at doing things wrong. So actually working on some shoulder movement is good too. But a lot of the way warm-ups are treated is as kind of like a loose art, which is not what you should be doing for an actual warm-up. You should be doing just like shapes. You shouldn't be doing like a sketch. That's not the kind of warm-up that is useful for stretches. Some people do warm-ups just like a brain warm-up, which is a looser sketch, and that's good, but different dealio. Yeah. Yep. I think this is gonna dry a little too dark. I'm just gonna do that. I can also go over it again with something. Yep. I do also have the wrist stretch redeem, which is a thing, because I do forget, but I also need to be careful to not overstretch, which many people don't need to worry about, but I'm special, so trying to figure out where that limit is like really difficult to me, because I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot. Actually, we're gonna get a little too deep today on a Friday morning. Well, Friday morning for me. I was thinking about how like disconnected from my body I am a lot of the time, because I do have body dysmorphia. So like the person who's in my head is not the person I am physically, which is difficult to deal with a lot of times. But I think part of the reason why I'm so bad with it, like not realizing when I'm hungry, not realizing when I'm thirsty, not realizing that I'm upset until I'm like well past the point of no return, is because I was expected to ignore all those things because it was a nuisance growing up. Which I don't think is original to me in any way, shape, or form. me trying to figure out which bit of the mushroom this is. Okay, right there. I know where we are now. So like a lot of my adulthood has actually been reteaching myself that I'm allowed to actually notice what the hell is going on with me. Because like I was told when I was growing up that the pain I was having in my hips constantly was just growing pains and I needed to get over it. Which probably ended up injuring me more, which makes my hips worse now. But I don't think that that's an unusual story for people, even people without chronic illnesses. We just kind of expect people to get past whatever they're feeling because it's annoying to us, especially adults to kids. So I think part of the reason why I'm bad about doing stretches and stuff like that is because I don't realize how badly I need it because I'm so disconnected from myself. We're working on it though. It's definitely one of those things where once you realize the root of the problem, it's easier to go, oh yeah, okay. Then I need to do X, Y, Z to try and reconnect. I'm trying to decide what color I want to do for the main part of the mushroom. I think I definitely want to do some more shading with burnt sienna on here. But I think maybe doing a titanium buff is what I want to do. So I have a little retreat here that I can do that for. Hey Jen, how's it going? I'm assuming you already finished Alberton Angels. I'm guessing. Because you didn't have very far to go. And I know better than most how difficult it is to stop reading those frickin' books. Because they really suck you in. I don't know that I liked that one as much as the other ones. It felt very... It felt less mundane, I guess. I want a mundane answer. I'll try not to give spoilers for anybody else, but Jen is in one of the Discords that I'm in, and I was talking about reading the Alberton Angels because I found something weird in one of the books that was not intentional. Yeah, I didn't either. But Alberton Angels by Janet something. Janet Hackett? Jeanette Hackett. That's it. I did not put a limit on how many times you can stab Caesar, just for the record. You guys can go buck wild. Janice Hallett, thank you. I got there eventually. Hui. But I really liked, I think I mentioned that I had read The Appeal by her to you guys before, and I really liked it. And so I went through all of her other books very rapidly, and I sucked in Jen. I was talking about it in the Discord, and I got her. Got him. But yes, you can have a little assassination as a treat. We all deserve a treat. And sometimes that treat is killing a leader. Man, figuring out these ridges is probably going to be the death of me. I also, I don't know, these plants confuse me. Confuse and vex me. That's that. trying to figure out where everything is on this mushroom is wild too, just for the record. Well, I won't bully you about it. Unless you want me to. But I know how that goes for sure. Do not ask me about the fairy tale rewrite I've been working on for like 6 years. we don't talk about it. And by that I mean I talk about it once every like 6 months and then I don't do anything about it.
When we wake, we'll take the shape of something free and bold, and rest in the
6 Swans. I did do what's gonna be the header art if I ever finish it for Stream Ink last year. This is the Stream Ink folder. Let me dig it out. It's in here somewhere. Why is that in there? That's not Stream Ink. Here it is. I did a little header art that will happen at some point. I'll finish it eventually. It started as a thing for my D&D character, which I haven't played in that campaign for like 3 years. We ended it. Well, kind of. I decided that it was bad for my mental health and said I was going to go. And everybody else said, well, if Katie's not going to be there, then I don't want to be there either, which is valid. I will at some point for sure, and I will add you to the list on my note file. In here somewhere. There. There, added to the list. Hopefully I'll get it done at some point. It's near the end, but like the end is the hardest part, right? And it ended up being like a way more personal retelling than I thought it was going to be. But my D&D character, oh, I just realized I put my reference photo someplace else. I was looking like, where is it? But my D&D character was a little gnome working to be an archivist, and she accidentally burned down part of her library. So she was forced to go out of the gnome community to replace all the books that she burned, and get new books of the outside world to bring back to her mentor. And she was just obsessed with fairy tales because I was playing her as Aero Ace. So she was just like, she was obsessed with fairy tales because they were very formulaic for romances in a way that she could conceive of. But 6 Swans was one of her favorites, which it was also one of my favorites when I was a kid. And so she was writing it down for someone else in the party because they'd become friends. She was writing down the way that her mother would have told it to her. And then the person she was writing it for kind of ghosted on the entire D&D group. And I just kind of was like, well, okay, well, I like how this is turning out anyway. Even though it was supposed to be like a quick rewrite, it is now like 20,000 words and still going. The original fairy tale is about 2,000 words max, depending on which telling you run into. So I went a little overboard with that. But because I started it and I was like, I reread it, and the version in your head is never, well, the version on paper is never as good as the one that's in your head. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I was like, well, I'm going to rewrite this, but I'm going to make it less misogynistic. And if you've ever read some of those old fairy tales, especially the Grimm retellings, taking the misogyny out of it is not a small task. But I was like, oh yeah, I can definitely do this in 3K words. Lies, you tell yourself. Oh yeah. I love hearing about people's D&D characters. So I don't really like playing D&D, I discovered. Because the only thing worse than math is math and improv. And it stresses me out. But I do love the character creation, and I had like I have so much backstory. Her name was Finwin. She has her own Tumblr blog because I started just reblogging things that were like Finwin core. She goes by Finn. I'll reblog the little character sheet I did for her, because I did, aside from just doing like the actual like traits and math sheet for D&D, I did like a little intro to her with like her favorite colors and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I find it a lot easier to deal with a character if you know the background for it. And I was keeping an in-character journal for her for a really long time. Well, I started out doing that, and then it kind of fell by the wayside because I ended up being like the main note taker for the campaign, so I was focused more on that than doing my stuff. But I can share that little page and show y'all, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, you both follow me on Tumblr. Me trying to think. Thinking? Don't know her. I'll finish futzing with these holes, and then I will go see if I can find that. It should be pretty fast. Yeah, for sure. I just think that, I don't know. It's a lot of... You're such a liar, Grim. I think it's partially that, and partially I just don't really want to interact with other people. I think it boils down to that, really. I also, sorry, I forgot to add a tag to something. Give me a moment. So fun fact, because I can never remember just how to spell trypophobia, I have it saved in my autocorrect as freaky holes. So whenever I type out freaky holes with no spaces, it fills that in for me, which is super helpful. Where is this? I will reblog it from Finn's actual blog that I haven't touched in about 1,000,000 years. I love that is in the way. Hey, move. There, reblogged. Now you can see. I need to do that there too. Hoi hoi hoi. Yeah. I just kind of, it's more of like rotating my blurbo like a rotisserie chicken in my head is what brings me joy, so that's what I do. This button, that's what I needed. I forgot to add the trypophobia tag on Tumblr, which was rude of me because one of my mutuals has trypophobia pretty bad, so I should have thought that through better. Yeah, I'm very much a rotate my blurbo kind of person. So I just think about Finn, and I have a note file somewhere. That's totally fair. Since I was playing Finwin versus just writing her, I needed some more backstory so that I felt like when people came up with stuff to like ask her, I would have answers, because if I needed to come up with that on the spot, my brain would have imploded. Which my brain implodes anyway, but you know, you can prepare for it a little bit. Let's see here. I've missed some of the like ridges along here when I was sketching. But like, so I knew Finwin's like favorite foods and stuff like that. And I didn't intentionally make her autistic, but I kind of made her me slightly to the left, so she ended up autistic anyway. Because one of the big things was like on character sheets they often ask, you know, oh, well, who's their favorite person and stuff like that. Who's their friend? Who's their family like? And And Finwin's best friend from home is somebody who actually hates her and makes fun of her, but Finn just like didn't understand that's what was happening. She was very baby, but she got very angry and protective of other people. Which, hi, my name is Katie. I definitely don't know what you're talking about. That isn't just like me. But yeah, I have fun with her. I like her. But she was also like an obsessive note taker, just like me. Because like, so we played that campaign for like 2.5 years maybe. I don't remember exactly how many sessions it was, but somewhere in the 60s, I think. And I have like 400 pages of notes from that campaign. If you need to know anything about what happened on any given day in that campaign, I can tell you. I mean, I'll need to refer to my notes, but I'm just like that. And I think because I'm like that, I burn out on that stuff pretty fast, which is, I think our neurospicy little group here will understand that better than most. But yeah, she was obsessed with books, so she kept buying books everywhere. And read a bunch. And got really violent when people were mean to people who were innocent or unprotected, or her friends. So like, she kicked a guy and broke his ribs at one point because he was sent as an assassin to kill a family. She had a little temper, which again, I wonder where she might have gotten that from. Certainly not her creator. But yeah, that's where the Six Swans started. I started writing it because the other D&D character gave her a book, and so she was going to try and repay the favor by writing down a story that the other person hadn't heard of from her childhood, and then the person left before I could finish it. Oh yeah. I don't know that I made it super clear when that was going on, because I wanted to surprise the player character with having like a handwritten version of the story. Because I started like with the thing I just reblogged, I had started doing like a handwritten journal was my idea, and that never came to completion. But I don't think I was super clear with the DM about my intentions there. Because it's one of those things where you're like, well, if I don't do it and I didn't tell anybody, then they can't be disappointed in me. Which, they were my friends. It wasn't like a big deal, but... I think I need to do some beige. We did run into plenty of wild stuff. The final showdown involved a lamia. And we also decided to kill a mayor at one point, which was big story time. Yeah, I think I probably should have done this as a wash beforehand, but you know what? You live and you learn. It'll dry cooler anyway. Cooler? That's not what I mean. Stab him! Get him! That GIF is from the 1953 Julius Caesar movie, just in case anybody was wondering. I didn't put it in the description or anything, because I figured it wasn't that big a deal, but just in case anybody's wondering. It has Marlon Brando in it. I haven't watched it in a long time. I've seen it like once. I will say the thing that I missed about that D&D campaign the most is getting to hang out with my friends. Because that was a campaign that I did with Jick and Calibros, who shows up at chat occasionally. And Calibros is from Finland, and so has a very interesting accent that I enjoyed listening to. He has a nice voice in general, as does Jick, but Jick I get to listen to more often. But I did need to wake up at like 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. every Sunday, which was not good for my brain. Because that's early. Well, I think that looks like a mushroom. I don't think it's the best mushroom that I've ever seen painted, but it looks like something. I still need to do the other one, but I do think I'm missing some of the texture, which is difficult to get, especially with watercolor, because like the ridges are very thin. I think on the next one I'm going, sorry, I'm covering my mouth, that's probably annoying. I do think on the next one I'm going to start with a wash of beige and then work up from there. I do think that adding some orange maybe too, and a little bit of pink to the stem is the right call. Yeah. I think another thing, just because of how our group dynamic was, we had somebody who very much worked really hard to never interrupt anybody, which meant that we needed like long pauses to think, and like leave space so that he would talk sometimes, because he was perfectly happy letting the rest of us run the campaign, which was fine, like that's not an issue, but it would annoy other DMs, I think. So I don't know that our dynamic would work with another person other than the person who was doing DMing for us. Just because having those big empty spaces, I think, would annoy some people. And actually, I know for a fact that it would annoy some people, because I've talked to some people who were like, how could you do that? I would make you do something. It's like, okay, well, then you'd never hear from one of the players, so you aren't a good fit. Which not everybody's going to fit with everybody, and that's fine, but I don't know that I would want to do it with anybody other than that group, though, is another thing, because those are my boys. Agreed. And I can understand that it's like difficult to just let things go like that sometimes. So like I get it from all angles for sure. But I should add some warm gray to this. some areas, but I do think that this looks like a mushroom. That's acceptable. Like some spots in here. These are looking pretty flat, all things considered. So that's something to think about too. That's my considering noise, I guess. I'm tempted to just do like a wash of pink over these stems. Actually, maybe pink orange. Let's try that. You know how I said like a half hour ago I maybe should clean my palette? We definitely are at the point where I should clean my palette and I'm not doing it. Oh, that's smart, Shawnee. I would love to do something like that. Like, there is a comic that I saw in Tumblr last night about a dwarf who was pretending that he couldn't speak common very well so that he wouldn't have to talk to the humans so much, and I think that's great. I love altering, like, I love coming up with characters that would be fun to play, but I don't actually want to play them. But I think there's a lot of fun ways that you can do, like somebody who's shy or somebody who doesn't speak English well when the rest of the group speaks English. There's also that Tumblr post that's gone around about a teacher who was running a campaign for some of his students. And one of the students is, that's how we say words. One of the students' first languages was Spanish and not English. So the teacher changed it so that that student was High Elf. And so had a different language than all of the other characters. And had one of the other students translate from High Elf, aka Spanish, into English for them. I thought that was very clever. There's a lot of really cool ways you can do stuff. For sure. Yeah, that's great. I love that, Shawnee. That's so nice. Okay, I think that looks like a mushroom. I don't think it's the best mushroom that has ever been painted, but we have many other opportunities, so. Yeah, that's cool. I've seen somebody else who had their girlfriend talking in their ear because they were like possessed by the sword, and the sword was the girlfriend's voice. So they had two different sets of headphones in, one where they could only hear their girlfriend and the other where they could hear the rest of the group, and so had to battle that in their head the same way their character would have, which I thought was very interesting. There's a lot of really cool things you can do. Okay. Do I want to get that wet first? Yeah. Let's get our holes wet, guys. I did not lift up a lot of the red graphite here. It's not really graphite. Red pigment. So it's kind of blending in, which I actually am digging. But, oh, I need to change reference images. This guy. No. Right? No, that guy. No. Oh my god, I have too many photos of mushrooms. There we go, this one. You know what I should have done before I started this mushroom? I say as starting it, I should have wiped down my palette. It's fine. It's not that big a deal, but I do not have a lot of mixing room right now. But I do want to just like lay down this lovely titanium buff Then probably I can let it dry a little bit. Well, actually, I kind of want to futz with the stem first. Let's do some more of this down here, just to lay in some more color. Right there works. Okay. Yeah, I did see that somebody was doing that because Wizard of the Coast announced something gross, and I don't remember what it was. And they did it the same day that Critical Role was releasing the beta. I love that there's a mushroom person, though. That's fantastic. Did you see? Okay, so I made a post last night about me playing Dredge, and the tag that I put was, well, one of the tags that I put on it was, I'm like, if an old fisherman was a girl, was a mushroom, was an iPad baby. So that's the gender for today. I don't know, I just like fishing. I like being a fisherman. That's my favorite part of Animal Crossing too, is fishing. Okay, I'm setting this aside so that I actually wipe down my palette, and I'm going to move the palette so that you guys can see. See, there's not a lot of mixing space left on here. So we're just going to clean it up a little bit. Frog people is good. Love a frog person. Love frogs, just in general. Hey, Mommy, how you doing? I'm assuming that's you. I don't have readable colors on. Yes, it is you. Okay, good. At some point, I'm going to accidentally call somebody else Mommy, and it's going to be really awkward. I'm pretty good. How about you? Good to see ya. Ooh, that's fun. Oh, great. Do you get to see any of the dogs today? Because that's clearly the best part of your job. Oh, well, I'm glad you get some chill time in there. Yeah. Kuro gets to see service dogs in training at their job. And sometimes I also get to see the dogs because Kuro posts them to a Discord we're both in. And it's great. Yeah. I did have a dream about my old dogs last night, which was weird. And my grandmother, my great-grandmother a lot last night. Weird dreams, weird dreams. I did have a nightmare like right off the bat last night, but my brain decided to be nicer to me after I woke up from that one. My brain is so weird. I don't know what color that was, but it's going away now. I know what those are, vaguely. Oh, it was the other black. That's what it was. Poppy. Good work, Poppy. Poppy the puppy. Sir Dante Terrapin. That's a great name. I don't have Snap. Well, I did have Snap. I don't have it installed. Maybe I'll reinstall it. Because I had it because I was specifically using it to talk with one of my friends, and then we had like a very dramatic falling out. So I deleted it because I wasn't using it for anything. But if you're on there, then maybe I'll rejoin. I still have the same username there, I think. I just don't have the app on my phone anymore. Because heaven forbid I have to use a different username. There, now we have mixing space again. Isn't that glorious? Okay, mushrooms.
All you wanted was a little taste. Wanna let a single sin you go to.
Okay.
You should stop, you know you should.
That messed with my groove so bad. I know it's gonna be better, but like my brain was like, okay, now we're done. No, we're not done, brain. How dry are you? You're fine.
Until you're nothing but an animal.
I need to remember to message my friend and apologize for not tagging that. Hoi. I'm just a disaster lately. I say as if I'm ever not a disaster. But what kind of disaster am I? I think I'm like the evergreen, where I'm like lovable and fun. And I would love it if I was a disaster to the economy as a whole. That'd be great. I think that's acceptable. Excellent. Thank you. I'll go look later. I just love dogs. They're so good. I miss having pets. This is like the longest I've ever been in my life without a pet. Every single day, it's the longest I've ever been. And it's wild to me. Okay, this is what I want. Did I already say that? Did I finish that thought earlier? Maybe. I will have a little treat. Thank you. Do I want salmiakki or do I want a Japanese sugar candy? I got another treat yesterday because I was talking to Star's stream yesterday, which you should use your command stars, or anybody else. If you want to do !stars, you can get a link directly to Star's channel, who is a super fun and sweet streamer. Good chill times, sweet games, sweet person, all around fun. But we were talking about prickly pears there yesterday, and I was like, prickly pear syrup is a common thing here. And I looked at that and I was like, maybe I want some prickly pear syrup. I want something prickly pear because I thought of it. And I was like, you know what would be good? Like prickly pear saltwater taffy. I wonder if that's a thing. And I found some. So I ordered that and I'm really excited about it. So I'll probably bring those on stream. I've been buying just like random candies because they bring me joy. So I got a pack of salmiakki. This is one of the packs. There was 3 different flavors in it. And I think I'll have this for my little treat. I'm going to have 2 though. So you got double the bang for the buck there. 2 little salmiakkis, which is the salty licorice for those who don't know. So those are in my mouth now. I also am supposed to hydrate. I will do that. Slurp, slurp. But if you don't like licorice, you won't like salmiakki. But I've been getting like weird little candies whenever I do an order for stuff. So I don't know, I like trying new candies. Well, salmiakki isn't really new. These brands are new for me. Like these specific varieties, but I've had salmiakki before. I tried it on stream last August, actually. But I also got those Percy Pigs a while back, which were good. I don't know that I'd buy them again, but they were good. And they definitely are a specific texture. That's why I got them. It's because everybody was saying what a funky texture they were. Don't honk out there. You shush, I'm busy. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just in my funky little candy era. I guess that was the point of that. Oh my gosh. Hi. Bye. I'm not coming to the door right now. I'm busy. That's probably my package, actually. It's probably my embossing stamp, which shipped and is supposed to be here today. Which is wild how quickly they got that. Oh, Greg's gonna get the door. Thank you, Greg. And it is kind of like a foamy texture, foamy gummy candy. It's the way it was described to me was a cross between a circus peanut and Laffy Taffy. And I think that was pretty accurate. We had them when they were still frozen too. And then they warmed up a bit. And the texture was different between frozen and warm, like room temp. But it is very like stretchy. That's not what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know anything that's comparable. It's kind of like super stale marshmallow. If it was softer and more dense, does that mean something? It's kind of one of those things where, like, I'm understanding why nobody could accurately describe the texture to me. Laffy Taffy is really just like stretch taffy too. It's just a specific brand here. But I don't know how taffy is to the rest of the world. I don't know. All right, good luck with work. Thanks for popping in. Thank you. I will try. Yeah, it's definitely not like a gummy bear. It's definitely more airy than that. So there are like air bubbles in it, but it's not like super big air bubbles. So it's not like airy like bread. It's more airy like a pastry, but if it was a gummy. Does that make any sense at all? I feel like a crazy person right now. I say as if I'm not actually a crazy person. Oh, I need to research flooring. I think that's my next step today. Well, today for the downstairs project. Because what I need to do is get a set of prices so that I can talk to my dad. Which reminds me, I definitely did not send him his happy birthday text today. Oops, I'll do that later. Or I'll forget. We'll find out. Yeah! Watercolor! Hi, Bewitch. How you doing today? I've been doing like more watercolor than anything else lately. I do actually have some digital art backed up that I need to work on. And fiber art. Don't worry about it. Oh, I feel that. That's been me like this whole week. We've been having like huge pressure shifts here. And that always makes me like super brain foggy. Oh no! I'm guessing you don't get to take a post-lunch nap. Because heavy lunch and then a nap is like A+. But if you don't get to take a nap, then it's a disaster. Okay, now that these have dried, I think I was perhaps too harsh on these mushrooms. I think they look good. I do think that doing the wash first is the better way to do this, though. Fair, fair, fair. I did actually start playing Animal Crossing again. Random statement based on the song that's playing. I played it for like 2 days, 3 days, and then I stopped playing again. I don't know, man. New Horizons just doesn't hit the same as New Leaf. I do want to like work on some spots on my island though. Because I have like ideas and I have stuff set down there, but I really need to solidify it a little bit. I do think that's something that I want to do when I get an actual PC set up, because I do already own a capture card. My laptop just can't handle it. So I think having like Animal Crossing days would be nice. And then I could actually like have a reason to keep playing it instead of like losing my will to play after a little bit. Because originally when I started playing New Horizons, I wanted to go through and get all of the portraits for every single villager, which is like 400 plus. And the portraits are collectibles that you can only get from a villager after you have max friendship with them. So it's like a long time to do that. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And I don't do like the generic perfect Animal Crossing town. I tend to keep my stuff a lot looser. So I don't have specific like paths that have you lined in with bushes or whatever. I like to have it more open because I do actually play the game, right? So having only like one way to get to the museum or whatever drives me bonkers. So yeah, I think I have 5 at this point, which is it's not a lot in comparison to how many there are, but considering how much or how little I have played this in comparison to New Leaf, it's pretty substantial. And I do have some villagers that I'm keeping. They aren't allowed to leave no matter how much they try. But the other ones I'm like rotating through. And I do have some amiibo cards, so I've been searching for villagers when I'm filling a slot that I don't have the amiibo card for, because that'll be easier to get them to move in later, right? So yeah, I have an orchard. I have a little farm space. I also have 3 characters in my town that are for different purposes because I'm just like this as a person. You guys know that. It's fine. But I have my main character, so that's me, and then I have a character that has like a tea shop, and she has a little farm next to her house and a little like Zen garden on the other side. And then I have my scrungly little hobo man who lives in a tent and will always live in a tent, and he's in charge of like landscaping. And he has like a little fishing area set up next to his tent. But I also have a plan for how I want to set up the space around my museum. I just haven't done it yet because the flowers are everywhere. I left my town at one point and it overrun. Like I can't run through, like I can't get to the museum without the game lagging because of how many flowers it's rendering at a given moment. It's a nightmare and I just haven't dealt with it yet. But I do have plans. I also have a little like sleepover station set up in one spot where it's like board games and a TV and a fireplace and little sleeping bags, like when you had a sleepover when you were little. That I want to finalize a little bit. I want to make that a little more specific, like put down some flooring and stuff. And I do have my shops and stuff set up right next to the airport with fencing so that I can close it off if I have good turnip prices, so people can just come in and out and I don't have to worry about them stealing my stuff. because I was in the new leaf mines and I remember how it was. I want to add. I have gone very off book for this stem, but I think it looks good, so. But that was like my main thing when I first started, was getting everything fenced off. Yeah, Caps Island is like pristine. But I definitely don't do paths that way. Like, I understand why people do them that way, but they drive me nuts if I'm actually like doing stuff. Oh, I also have a plan for a secret gnome garden. Because when they added in the Mario pipe, I was like, I could make it so that you have a pipe that's kind of like hidden in the landscape. And if you go in the pipe, you can end up in my secret garden where there's gnomes protecting it. So I want to make like a little gnome council that you can pop up in the circle of, like the gnomes summoned you. Like, I have all these ideas, but I've never gotten around to it. The ordering limit that they added in this game is like ridiculous, because I don't time travel. So you can only order 5 items a day, which is ridiculous. And it's just a nightmare. Yes, I love him. He's a little bouncer outside of my garden. So I have my specific hybrid garden where I leave at least 2 of every hybrid, so that if my flowers get... This is an old habit from New Leaf. This is really not a worry in New Horizons. But I have a little secret garden that I fence off with my hybrids in it, so that if somebody destroys the rest of my flowers, I still have the hybrids to make more. But again, not an issue anymore. They've kind of fixed that. And I think just doing gray is a little bit too much. Let's make some brown in there. Yeah! I still need to finish my museum too. I'm missing like 4 bugs, because I always stop playing in like August, September, apparently. I've gotten everything else. And a couple fish too, I think. Same with diving creatures. I just have like 1 left that's from that specific time that I never play. You can't. Living creatures you can't trade. Which they've done on purpose since time immemorial. But really what I should do is find somebody who has a Southern Hemisphere town and ask to come over in the like opposite season. Because you can go to other people's islands and catch stuff if they're in a different season. You just can't drop off something for them, if that makes sense. Sorry, I think I just hit the mic again. I'm sure you guys will be really happy when I actually have like a proper desk with my desk mic set up so that I stop hitting you in the frickin' face. It's just right next to my face. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, fair enough. If you're into that, you're into that. And we are definitely a kink shame free area, because God knows I got my mixed bag. Actually, speaking of, so I've talked about this on Tumblr. I don't know that I've mentioned it here yet. But there's a specific sticker series related to kink that I've been wanting to do for ages. But because I don't have, or I didn't, didn't, you notice the past tense now, have my own website where I could sell my own stuff, it was adult enough that I was concerned about getting slapped, and not in the fun way, off of the platforms that I sell on. But your girl actually did just purchase her own website with a store. So I think that we will be working on that at some point, and it's probably going to end up being a Patreon project if I can fold it into the color of a month stuff, just because that's what I'm doing mostly now. Which is going to be a little bit awkward because my dad is one of my patrons, but you know what? I'm an adult, he can deal with it. But I want to do like similar to the good work stickers and stuff that I did with the frogs and other green critters, but I want to do like good girl and good slut stickers with various kink things, so like a paddle and cat o' nine tails and stuff like that, with different terms of endearment, I suppose is a way to put that. Titles. So that will happen at some point now that I've taken the step to do the website. Once I get the website fully set up, it definitely is not yet, but we'll get there. We're working on it. Working towards my goal of making slut stickers. That's really what this is all about. Because you know what? Sluts deserve stickers too. Yeah, and I've had this idea for like maybe 7 years at this point, and I haven't done it yet. I am thinking that I probably want to do those in some form digitally so that I can take custom orders to match skin tones and specific terms for people. Which, if I get a silhouette printer, or cutter, I mean, not printer, I can print my own versions and do smaller batches. So I could do custom versions of that to give to your sub or your dom or whatever, which I would quite like to be able to do. Because I do think that certain skin tones especially are not well represented in the space. Oh, we can do that. I know how. Well, you also know how. You're welcome to do that if you would like to. Just, I don't own slut. There's a lot of jokes to be made there. Go wild. But I do think that that would be fun to do now that I'm not as concerned about getting booted off of Ko-fi. Yeah, no, if you want to do Sluts Deserve stickers, go for it. Please. And like, we have pretty different styles, so I don't think that we would be butting heads here. For sure, these. Okay, what am I doing? I want to do some shading, which means I want more of this. What color did I shade with? I shaded with burnt umber, and I thought that that was a little bit dull, so let's do some burnt sienna and ochre, maybe. I have a problem. So I have a sticker problem, and the problem is that I designed too many stickers. Because I was like, oh, I won't order any more stickers for a while because I have like a lot in my shop. And then Sticker Ninja, who is the printer that I use, was like, oh, here's a sale. We haven't done this in a while. And I was like, okay, I will order one more sticker. And then I came up with a bunch more sticker designs because my brain is just like this. I like stickers. It's tiny art that you can take with you, and it's so great. But if I get a silhouette printer, then I can do like actual small batches and stuff, and I would actually have control over how much inventory I have in a way that I don't using a proper printer, which would be good. So that's my current Ko-fi goal, in case anybody wasn't aware. is saving up for a silhouette printer or cutter. I don't know why I keep saying printer. I do also need to get a better printer. That's a thing that's going to happen at some point, but not right now. Because I would like to do my own prints too. I'm not like an in-print so much. Because like the reason you would use one of those print-on-demand sites is one, to have more options available, and two, to have better searchability. But I've made exactly one sale on imprint in the 3 years that I've been on there, so it's not working for me. Exciting, exciting. Oh, you got transparent self-adhesive. Oh, pretty. Yeah, because Lib, who I've talked about before, and we raid Lib a lot, they do their own stickers, and they told me they're the laminate that they use, which I really like the brand that they like. I think I like the richer tone here than I have here. I think I'm gonna add more of that. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. You're used to it though. We're just like this. So I know like what vinyl and stuff they use, which is a big step, because I have their stickers and they're great. Actually, I have some right here, like this one. So they have like really pretty laminate, and they do the easy peel on their cutter too, so that it's got a, yep, Lib mention. We could use a counter for how often I mention other streamers. They're my friends. But they use like a really nice laminate that has like nice sparkles to it. I think I saved the Amazon listing somewhere, so I can send that to you, Bewitch, if you're interested. What was the point of me saying all of that? I lost her. I lost the train. But yeah. Yeah, I love that. Cool. Yeah. But I do want to get another printer too. Like the one we have would be fine for printing stickers, but I would like to do my own prints, which involves a much fancier printer than the one we currently have. So. Oh, all good, all good. I often do not even realize that it's missing a letter, because my brain just kind of autofills, which is funny because I used to make my money editing papers. So if I have editor brain on, I'll notice that stuff, but if I don't, my brain will just fill it in. Yeah, and so many of my friends are streamers, and so many of my streamers are friends, you know? Because I'm one of those people where if I show up in your channel and I like your vibes, I will stay there, I will never shut up, and you will never get rid of me. So like, I'll show up for people regularly, and then they'll say we're friends, and I'm like, oh good, because I think of you as a friend already, but I know that I get a little too familiar too quickly for some. So. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a quick break, because I should get up and stretch. Because I just moved my leg and my hip was like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. I'm like, actually, I have been sitting in the same position for an hour and a half, so you right. Which means I'm gonna run some ads real quick, just like 3 minutes. So we can all take a break together. You can watch the ads and make fun of them if you would like to, or you can completely avoid the capitalism and mute the tab and walk away. Do whatever you need to do. Get some water, have a little stretcheroonie. Whatever feels good for you. And when we come back, I'll try and figure out why I don't like the top of this mushroom so much. I guess because I deepened the lines a little bit too much and didn't deepen the folds. I think that's why. But we'll mess with it when I come back. Okay, everyone, 1, 2, 3, break. Alright, I return. I also went and figured out what that package was they left at the door. I got some collapsible cups for travel painting because I've been putting together a travel kit so that I don't have to stop painting when I am forced to travel. And we're probably going to be visiting my grandmother at some point because she is old and I haven't seen her in a while. But these are like super cheap, but some people said that they collapse really easy. So we'll see how it goes. But I just got for paint water. I mean, yeah, vaguely easily, but they also said that the edges were kind of sharp. I think it's okay. But yeah, look at that. So now I have a travel palette, travel brushes, and a travel cup. And I have a paintbrushy wipey. These guys that I make. I still haven't listed these in my shop. I should do that because I have like a stack of them waiting. I do kind of want to wash that one though and see how much of the pigment stays. But I'm going to leave this set up over here and we'll see if it just randomly collapses. Because somebody said that that did that to them in the reviews, so we'll see. But it was so cheap that I was like, I'm willing to try this out. It was only $5 for 2 of them, so. Okay, so I think that me doing shading all the way up has kind of messed with the vibe of the mushroom a little bit, so I'm gonna deepen the shading down here and see if that makes me feel better about life. Me having a sudden worry I didn't unmute myself. No, I did. We're fine. Thanks, brain. I also think deepening the shadow on here will be beneficial. Not quite that deep. Calm down. Thank you. Yeah, that's a little better. I do think we're getting somewhere. Perhaps I understand the mushroom better than I did at the beginning of stream. But they're still so weird. Oh my god, I just realized Shawnee asked me what my favorite kind of mushroom was like a million years ago, and I never responded. Somebody asked me who my favorite mushroom was. I think it was Shawnee. I could be wrong. I like most mushrooms. I will say that I think morels and chanterelles are both overhyped. I don't think they're as good as everybody acts like they are, which is a controversial mushroom opinion. Yeah, I forget who it was now, but I like half read that message and got distracted by a different message and then I forgot. Which I think most of us are used to me doing that. Oh, yep, the pressure shift just happened. My head hurt now. But I really like portobellos, and I really like button mushrooms, like a classic white mushroom. Excellent cremini, which is just a baby portobello, also delicious. Chicken of the woods, hen of the woods, that's what I mean, is also pretty good. I just like mushrooms, man. And if you don't like mushrooms, that's great. Let me have your mushrooms. We will make an unstoppable duo. As in, I will eat so many mushrooms and then you will have to roll me out of wherever we're eating them. I love mushrooms, man. I just think they're cool. I've mentioned the stream now twice today, which is fun. When I did my birthday stream last year, I got distracted while we were trying candy because there was a mushroom off the back porch that I could see through the porch window. Yeah, I totally understand why people wouldn't like mushrooms, both the texture and some of the undertones of flavors. I can totally understand why those would be overwhelming and not pleasant to people. I will not shame you for not liking mushrooms. I will ask for your mushrooms, though. So... But our backyard has been getting some really cool mushrooms the past couple of summers because it's gotten a lot moister here during the summer than it used to. Which is good because we've been having bad fire seasons up here too. So we appreciate some moistness. And it means that I get to go take pictures of cool mushrooms in my backyard, which is always a delight. It's like the equivalent of living in Florida and getting to just see a gecko or a little frog or something. It's like that, except mushrooms up here. And sometimes you see moose, but those are not cool little guys. Those are guys who will stomp you to death. So, ooh, yummy, yummy. Yeah. Agreed, Shawnee, agreed. Because I'm considered the picky eater of my family. I'm not super picky by normal people's standards, but my family is generally just so open to various foods that I'm the picky one. Okay, I think that doing some shading up the cap of the mushroom could be good, but I need to be more careful with how much of it I do because we've completely lost the highlight on this side of the mushroom, which makes it look flatter. But I like doing the wash of color better, I think, versus doing the holes and then filling in the top of the cap here. So we're making progress. I don't think I'll get all of these done on stream today. But that's okay. Which mushroom is this one? That guy? No. This guy? No. If I had thought it through, I would have done these in the order that I put the reference photos in my file, but I definitely didn't. Yeah, also totally fair, Jen. Because they are like a really specific texture and flavor, and sometimes you can vibe with it and sometimes you don't. Totally get that. Got my brain on, was it Tuesday, decided that the texture of the chicken my brother made for dinner was illegal. And it was so frustrating. Because it was like good food, and my brain was like, actually suffer. It's like, alright, I guess I'm not eating dinner, thank you. Is that this one? No, that's that one. Too many mushrooms. Too many mushrooms. This one. I found it. We do, or used to, I guess it's been a while. We used to do just like big ass portobellos on the grill where you can do them in the oven too. If you just put like, you need to scoop out the gills because the gills are really bitter once they cook. But if you just scoop out the portobello gills, it makes kind of like a big flat bowl. And you can just stick butter and seasonings on the inside and stick it in the oven or stick it on the grill. And all of that stays in and gets sucked up by the mushroom. Delicious. Highly recommend if you are a mushroom person. If you aren't a mushroom person, then you won't like that. And I don't recommend it. But very good. You can also, if you're doing it in the oven, do it with the butter for a little bit and then put an egg in the center and keep cooking it. And then you get egg and portobello mushroom, which is also very good. I just like mushrooms. I don't know if you noticed. I'm a mushroom stan. Yeah, portobello on most things is really good, honestly. It's just a nice... It is less mushroom textured than other mushrooms, I think, like smaller mushrooms. But it definitely does still have that texture. I want to see what happens if I leave a brush in that for a little bit. Let's do a heavy brush and see how that goes. Oh, I guess you can't see it. Boop, boop. There you go. That's the other cup that we're testing out. I'm gonna knock it around a bit and see if it collapses. Because it's fine if it does collapse at a certain point, but I need to know what the limit is. They sold these for like camping and stuff, but I feel like the size of that is not useful for camping at all. It's so tiny. It's like a shot glass. Yeah, so it's a collapsible cup for, hopefully I'm adding it to my travel watercolor kit that I've been slowly building. And there's 2 of them in this pouch. They were on sale when I went to check the other night, and I was like, you know what? Sure, let's try this out. Yeah, yeah. So this is, get out of the box, please. Thank you. This is what it looks like collapsed, and it has a little chain that you can connect to stuff. Although I'll probably, I was thinking about this, sew together a kit, like make a sew pouch. Oh, that's a good thought, Jen. They suggested specifically in the listing that it would be good for whiskey, and I was like, don't drink whiskey out of metal. What are you talking about? That will ruin the flavor. Like, I don't even drink anymore, but that's wrong, and you should not tell people to do that. Oh, cool. I will save that somewhere. Oh, I think I have transfer on, so I can copy it there and stick it down on my phone. Cool. Thank you. But these were $5 for 2. So I was like, I'm willing to try that out. And I wanted metal just because I would rather not use a whole bunch of plastic. I'm trying to limit how much plastic I use. Yeah, I don't understand why you would use those for whiskey. It's silly. And like, yes, flasks are made out of metal too, but it also changes the flavor of whiskey. If you're a true whiskey enjoyer, that's not how you're drinking whiskey. Which I was a whiskey enjoyer, so I was putting this here. That's what I'm doing. She has a brain sometimes. Yeah, those look nice too. The scalloped edge seems like it would be good for holding your paintbrush in a certain angle. I also think that since these are metal, I haven't tested it yet because I just opened these, but having a magnet sewn into the little kit that I want to make so that it stands and stays put will be good. Yeah, that's smart. I'm hoping that I can, because I also got a smaller, I think I showed this last stream, I also got a smaller watercolor sketchbook to use. So I'm hoping that like I can sew a little bag that has slots for everything, and I can just fold it and it'll be set to go with me. Because if everything has a spot, then I won't forget stuff. So hopefully that will work. I tend to not bring my art stuff when I travel, but I kind of need to start doing that because that's how I make my monies. Oh gosh. Yeah. I don't really take anything with me for the most part. Or I didn't used to, but I need to start doing that. So, plus I think it would be good to do some, not necessarily plain air painting, but like the same way that I would take photos of little stuff when I'm visiting someone, especially my grandma, I could paint it in addition. Because I do, like, the majority of, well, that's not accurate. A lot of my Flickr is photos that I've taken when I was at my grandma's, because we spent a lot of time there as a kid. So there's a lot of like little details that I think of in my head and I would like a reference photo of, just because like I think a lot of me as a person and my art in general is those little moments that you remember as you grow up, kind of a thing. So like the little pieces of life that you forget about are important to me, and I would like to document them. Oh my god, that's so much stuff. Why do you need that much? Hoi. Yeah, I do, in case people didn't know, I do modeling for the art classes at the college here. That's what, oh, speaking of, that's something else I need to talk about today, because I don't know my schedule yet, but there are dates for next week that would mess with stream. So I'll update as soon as I know, both on Twitch and on my socials, but I don't know for sure right now what that's gonna look like next week. But I've been doing modeling for the art classes, so I see all these students bringing their stuff in, and the difference between what some people bring and what other people bring is absolutely wild. Yeah. That's so much. I can't even do that in like a studio space because I would get so overwhelmed. And that isn't to say that I don't have a bunch of crap. I do. It's just all sitting back there where I can't see it because otherwise it stresses me out. Yeah, that's a lot. And you wouldn't even know if you forgot something right off. Well, you are still very damp. Let's try doing wet on wet since I already started. We'll see how I like it. Maybe that, especially with the way this mushroom is set up, helps me get those ridges that I'm kind of feeling mildly overwhelmed by. But you wouldn't know if you left something if you have that much. Although I am definitely that person who always has an overpacked backpack, so I can't throw too much shade. But I'm definitely that person if you like have a headache or you hurt yourself and you need a band-aid, you talk to me because I have all of the stuff. I do need to get more travel packets of Neosporin though, because my other ones are expired. Yeah, that's so much. Especially when you're sharing space like that. I will say that I think it's going to be worth it to me to buy the nice shop towels at some point. I've been trying to use less paper towels. In general, I'm trying to move away from one-use stuff and more towards reusable. But I think the blue shop towels that you can get are really good for art and cleaning stuff up. And I think maybe if I got a roll of those, it would be really helpful. They're expensive though, compared to just like regular paper towels. So it is an investment. Yeah, that's good, that's good. So I have these little brush wipers that I crocheted, which is working really well. I've been using this one for like months and it still does fine. And I reuse paper towels if I'm like blotting stuff, because once this dries I'll be able to blot and use this again. So I'm using a lot less paper towels than I used to. But I don't think I have any over here because I just washed them. But I have like basic boring cloth shop towels, like the super cheap kind that you would get and keep in like an auto garage, that I use for cleaning stuff up. And those are just so multi-purpose. You can use them anywhere. I use them to like clean my bathroom and stuff. Yeah, this is cotton. This was scrap yarn from making a hat for a friend. And then I was able to get, off of an estate sale, I got like 6 skeins of plain white cotton too, that I've been using to crochet these. I'm planning on putting them in my shop. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I don't know that they'll be super popular, but I'm really liking using it. And I have one with a binder clip on it that I can clip onto my working board when I'm doing watercolor, not sitting here. I'm not sure if it would work for acrylics. I don't use a lot of acrylic. It might if you rinsed it or got it wet, I think might do better. I'm not sure. I could try it. I could also just send you one, Jen, to test it out, because knowing that would be helpful for me. I do have One that I made with acrylic yarn that I don't think will work well for watercolor because it won't absorb the water, but that might work better for acrylic paint because it won't absorb it the same way, so it'll wash off easier. But I work with acrylic very, very rarely, so I've mostly used shop towels for that because I don't care if they're like dyed and vaguely unusable. Yeah, wet on wet, definitely. You can make a big old mess. So having paper towels is definitely more accessible too. It's easier to go to a store and buy a roll of paper towels. Than it would be to like say, oh, bring this specific kind of towel that will work. There are, like, I'm not saying that paper towels don't have their place. They definitely do, and I still use paper towels, but I have been trying to, like, limit how many disposable things I use this year, which I think I'm doing pretty well at, honestly. You're still pretty wet. Let's see. Nah, that's fine. You're fine. But I do have a few of these, the crochet ones, sitting around if anybody wants to test them out. I'm happy to just send them to people too. Get some product testing, you know? Because I'm sure they'd work for a lot of stuff. I was considering using the one I made out of acrylic as a makeup wipe for like my makeup brushes. Because again, it won't work as well for watercolor, and I know that. But I had some leftover white and I was like, oh, well, let's see how it works. The answer is it doesn't work great, which I could have put together on my own, but sometimes you just want to play with stuff. Are you vaguely dry now? Yes. Excellent. I do think I'll probably end up finishing these off stream just because I need to get going on that coloring book because I really wanted to get that done this month, which is looking less and less likely as we continue to move through the months, because I also still need to do the quilt block for this month, which I researched fabric patterns that I want to do. I just need to like get going on it because those don't take as long anymore now that I've kind of gotten into the groove of them a little bit. But I still do need to actually do it. Doing things is hard. I don't know if anybody knew this. Absolutely groundbreaking information. And it's definitely going to be difficult with how many modeling sessions there are to fill coming up. Because those make me sleepy tired. Yeah, big same. I do think I understand these a little bit better now. Will I be able to translate what I've understood to line art? Remains to be seen, but doing studies is important for learning and growing. And I do think that maybe I'll end up using these guys as assets on my website. Because because I came up with a idea for like the vibe that I wanted to do on the pages of my website. I just need to like finish it, like get it going. Because my whole kind of vibe, my branding, if you want to put it that way, is kind of like a notebook that's filled with post-its and random stuff. Because that's just how my brain works. But I think I want to make my website with the like notebook paper that design that I have for like my beginning and my ending screens, and make it look like my stickers are actually on the page and have those be the link bearers, which I mentioned before. So on the home page, I want to have my little whale friend and have the bubbles be the links. And then I'm thinking doing other similar kind of things on the other pages. So like the dandelion, and then have some petals coming off of it. And then I have a few different mushrooms that don't really go together per se. Like I didn't make them to go together, but they could all go on one page. And I think that will be cute and very personality driven, which I have a fair amount of personality. And I would like that to come across in the stuff that I have to, I guess advertise myself is the right way to put that, which is disgusting. Why do I have to market myself? Who allowed this to happen? Ridiculous. I do want to add more words to that stock again. I just really like the warmer tone that we have for these, even though it's like less reality accurate. I just like it. I like colors, which is why I need everything to have colors on it. I don't know where I was going with that. There was something that was in my brain and it just did not make it to the landing strip in time. Smacking the cup to see if it collapses. I think I'll be fine. I just need to be careful about it, since I know that it can collapse since it is a collapsible cup. Believe it or not. Things that say collapsible collapse. I know, it's a wild world we live in. Yeah, I just like the warmer tone there. Okay. Let's try a different bridge technique here and see how that goes. I think I do want to make it a little warmer. Some of that here. don't think I like the wet on wet as much. Kind of, well, it blurs everything, which would be the point of wet on wet. The holes in Morels are pretty sharp, really. I don't think that that works super well, but worth testing. Yeah, I still think there's something about the way the holes interact with the ridges that I still haven't really solidified on. But I do think we're getting somewhere. Go Streamer Chan! That's the name of this song, and I always think it's really funny when it comes up on the stream playlist. I think I still like the first ones we did best. But I think the depth on the holes in the second one is better. So I think combining techniques is probably the way to go. Yep. Have a good lie down. Take care of yourself, and I promise I will take care of myself. And I'm sure we'll run into each other later today, actually. But yeah, I think wet on dry is definitely the technique we want to go for with these. I can definitely tell the pressure change because my ear hurts. I have a scar tissue issue in my right ear from a ear infection I had when I was in college and didn't have time to get checked out right away. And when there's big pressure changes, it's very noticeable. I think I'm gonna do this mushroom, and then I'll probably find somebody to raid, because I should eat lunch at some point. eating is generally something you're supposed to do. So let me find which reference image that one is. I think that one. Yes. Because it has the strange scrungy bit up top. Okay. Ugh. That's not the brush I want. This is the brush I want. So I think I'm going to try, since this one is a little bit bigger, I'm going to try doing the same thing we did up here, putting the beige in after we finish the holes in the Morel. And see if I like that better. This one, the ridges are much more defined in the reference image. So I might start by defining the ridges and then work from there. Let's see if I like that better, actually. We'll see. We'll see. Light is coming from a different side on this than I usually want to make light come from. So I need to think about that and not mess that up. I always, if given my druthers, I always have the light angle coming from here. Why that is, I don't know, but that's just like my default state. But it's coming from this direction on here, so let me start trying to block some of this and figure out where it is going to go.
Do you feel it? The lack of wind, but abundance of air.
I almost just dropped that paintbrush. Sometimes I get going too fast. And then my thumb's like, oh, you meant release? No, I did not mean that. Please don't drop the brush. That side to be quite a bit darker.
As we think that there's no getting out here. I don't know you, but we'll make the most of wherever we are now. Slow floating under the stars now.
And his top has some scrungy bits.
Okay to be uncertain, 'cause I'm certain it's fine to be floating here for a while with you, wherever we are now.
there's a fair amount of light play on this one that makes it look more saturated. I think I'm gonna lay in some of this darker color and then add brighter yellow and orange in there and see what I think.
Not a single cloud will know the burdens we have shouldered. If I may stand on your stage, larger than life, and life as large as we are. This lonely light looms in the cosmic night. We fell in love and spilled our blood on the pale blue dye. Every wave erodes the lives till there's no good, there's only kind. Kids and killers share their bones on this.
I feel like I had something else I was going to talk about on stream, and now I don't remember what it was, which is really just a constant in my brain anymore.
If I may stand on your stage, larger than life, and life as large as we are. This lonely light looms in the cosmic night. We fell in love and spilled our blood on the pale blue dye. And by design, the iris of your eyes, the hints of amber in the artificial light. Once brilliant blue, so innocent and new, wider than the endless night around a tiny view.
I think I still need to darken up the sentences a little bit more, but this makes some vague amount of sense. I didn't change anything, but that song might have been a little bit louder. The ooh-woos in that one are pretty intense. I also stopped talking for a significant amount of time, so let's get some darker colors in the deeps here. Because this is looking pretty pale. I don't know that I'm solving the Morel mystery, but these have been pretty fun to paint, so that's something. I do think I have a little bit of a better understanding, but trying to figure out how to do line work for them is still difficult. Yeah, he still feels too light on this side. So I'll blend some of that out after the hole's dry, I think is the right answer. There, cup collapsed. It took a good number of whacks to get that done. Oh no! Okay. This makes a fun sound. I don't even know if you can hear. Hang on. Fun sound. Do you think I want to add more saturation to the stem again? And maybe I want to do the same to some of the mid-tone areas of the cap. What was I doing for this? This. And some of this. And some of this. I do need to figure out what the heck I'm eating for lunch. That is another thing to do. Why must we constantly eat? You know how they promised that we'd have like full meals and pills by the 2000s? Whatever happened to that? It'd be so much easier. I think really the people who would care about that are mostly neurodivergent people. So maybe that's why. Perhaps I've answered my own question. Yeah, that did a lot. Too much. Wow. That looks like a mushroom, vaguely. I don't know. I still think these guys read the best as Morels, so maybe I'm overthinking it, and I just need to do more blobs. Me, overthinking something. Who would have thunk it? All of us. We all would have thought it. We all would have thunk it. I do have a couple more that I can do, but I don't think I'm going to do them right now, because I don't want to. I could also add some colored pencil to this to make some more defined lines, but I think the looser feel is better. I am going to need to do this with line art, as previously mentioned, and then color it, and then the original painting of it will be part of the Kickstarter campaign once that gets going. And the due date for these is technically in August, but I know myself, and if I don't get it done early, I'm going to feel overwhelmed about it by the time we get there. So I would like to get it done this month, and it fits in with the color of the month that I'm doing for my Patreon. Yeah, I've been trying to not push myself super hard this week because I was feeling like super burnt out. Balancing the like actual work and this work that I have to do is taking a toll, which would be why after my last job I was so burnt out that I was a human disaster for a solid 5 years. I don't know. I wish that we didn't have to do this. And yet, like, I enjoy the job that I'm doing. I enjoy doing art, but when you have to make something into a job, it really sucks a lot out of it. Especially when you're in something that doesn't view pre-scheduling as a big thing. Because I am very much a need to plan person, and that is not what this job is like. Although they're doing better about it. I can tell that the person who's in charge of scheduling is really trying, which is good. I appreciate that, and I make sure to say that I appreciate that. But yeah, such is life. I will let everybody know as soon as I know what my schedule is going to be, so I'll update my Twitch schedule if that needs to happen, and I'll post on socials about whether or not I need to change the schedule. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I had to actually repaint a little portion of this because it chipped while I was sleeping. I did this yesterday. I think I did part of this during your stream, as a matter of fact. But it's a matte color from the nail polish brand that I really like, which is Zoya, Z-O-Y-A. And I use basically exclusively their nail polishes anymore because they're a lot easier on my nails than the stuff that I was using. So I used to paint my nails like constantly, like they were painted all the time. And with some brands I found that if I was doing that, my nails would separate into layers. And this is the brand that I found that never makes that happen. And this is their matte color. They do all of their color names and like people names. So there's like an Imogen, there's a Katie, there's all sorts of stuff. The I'm trying to remember what the green mat is called. They only have a few of the ones that are matte out of the tube. And I'm not going to remember what it's called. I want to say it starts with an H, but I don't remember. Well, there's only a few, so if you look at their website and look at the matte finish, then it'll show up. They only have a couple. It does chip a lot easier though, the matte ones, which is kind of annoying, but they're so pretty that I think it's worth it. I decided to do like a green and brown forest vibe. Yeah. Yes, honor. That's it. You're right. I was like so sure it starts with an H. Because I did look at them last night because I was like, oh, I should probably figure out what the names are in case somebody asks. And then I didn't remember because who remembers things? Remembering? That doesn't seem right. I should probably do these mushrooms and record me doing one of them for socials. I definitely have not posted a reel this week, which I meant to do and then just didn't. But that's okay. We'll live. It's not like I've gotten a sale off of TikTok or anything, so it doesn't matter. I hate having to be like a social media mogul to get any sort of traction. It's annoying. Just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. But no, you won't tell me what I need to do. I have to guess and then guess wrong and get punished for it. I hate social media. Okay, I think I'm gonna take a photo of this. Oh, did you post stuff on your YouTube stars? Speaking of things and stuff. Take a photo. And I think I will try to find us a raid target. I think Rainbow's live. We can go bother Rainbow. Okay, good. I didn't check this morning because I was doing other stuff, but remember that was something that you needed reminding about. I also haven't played Neopets yet today. I need to go get my slice of giant omelet. Lib, like, flung me full force back into Neopets. By mentioning it, I should say. Oh, good. I will put that on in the background when I'm working on something at some point. If it... You edited it, right? So I think you mentioned doing that. To trim it up a little bit. But if I watch things where I was there, I get like jump scared by my own name and react weirdly. So for a lot of those, like I do want to support you and watch it, but I can't like watch it, if that makes sense. Because I can't watch it and do something because I try to react like I'm watching the live stream when somebody says my name and I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. It isn't real. Calm down. Yeah, exactly. So what I've been doing is I did this for I too because he's got his thing going. So I have I put it up on my iPad and then like minimize it and brush it off screen so that it's still playing and it still counts as a view, but I don't see it or hear it. Just so that I can like help out, but also not make myself insane. I say, as if I'm not all the time. Okay, Rainbow is live, so we will go bother Rainbow. Because we haven't been over there in a bit. Let me see who else is live, just in cases. Yeah, I know, laptop, I know. You're having a hard time. It'll be okay. Nah, Rainbow's the pick today. No, we haven't been there in a little bit, so. Well, I've been there in a little bit. I haven't dragged you all in there in a little bit, so. Let me do the commanderoons. because I'm betting that my laptop will have a shitfest about rating again, and it won't show me the thing and stuff. Even if I close all the other tabs, which is fine. She's working hard. Let me switch the on screen. Oh, that's like really bright now. Did the sun come out? Oh yes, get your stabs in. Get your stabs in. It's your last chance. Stab that man. This can get put away. Me trying to vaguely clean up my space. I did clean this up because I think I mentioned we had a friend over on Tuesday. So I didn't break down like the whole streaming setup, but I did like move my stuff so that it wasn't in the way. So that there was like half of the table that was usable. And I need to keep up on that because now that I've done the big one, if I keep up on the little bits, it will be much easier to deal with from here on out. So we can just have a little chat while I clean up my trash. I can reuse these. You're mostly dry and look absolutely hideous. Look at him. Okay. Do I have anything else important to say? I don't think so. I will let you know about scheduling, like I said, as soon as I know, which I'm guessing will not be immediate, which is not a read, but that's just how it goes. What else? I think that's it. Let me switch to the ending screen, which does not have the alerts on it, I guess, because I didn't copy over the Twitch run. Thank you. Let me do the thingy popper. That is the wrong word. Word? That's not what I mean. Wrong command. That's the word. I know how to run a stream. No, I don't. I don't. I never did. That's the secret. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always incompetent. Okay. And as predicted, I absolutely cannot see where the raid is going. So thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being niceies to me. Thanks for stabbing Caesar so many times. I'm glad we finally got him after, 2,000 plus slutty years. I'll see y'all around whenever I happen to be able to stream next. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember you're loved because I love you. And that's why I want you to take care of and be kind to yourself. And if you can't do that for yourself, please do it for me because I think you're awesome and you deserve nice things. And that includes from yourself, even on the days that it's really hard. Okay? So, love you. And I'll see y'all next time. You can copy and paste the raid commands. I guess I didn't say that. And go say hi to Rainbow, who's a super cool person. And I'll see y'all next time. Okay, bye!